Have a good day, class. I'm Liza Manuel. I'm presenting today lesson 8 about industrialism and the race for empire. Learning outcomes. Discuss why the Industrial Revolution started in Britain. Identify the main inventions which revolutionized the industrial age. Explain how inventions spurred industrialization. The next, industrialism and the race for empire are first, the beginnings of industrialization, second, industrialization in Europe, third, industrialization spreads, and lastly, reforming the industrial world. So, why the Industrial Revolution started in Britain? The beginnings of industrialization. Rapid industrialization first began in Britain, starting with mechanized textiles spinning in the 1780s, with high rates of growth in steam power and iron production occurring after 18,000. Most historians place the origin of the Industrial Revolution in Great Britain in the middle decades of the 18th century. It means mechanized textile production spread from Great Britain to continental Europe and the United States in the early 19th century, with important centuries of textiles, iron and coal emerging in Belgium and the United States and later textiles in France. So, these are become in top 1 product in France are the textiles, the coal, and iron. This image are the women factory workers at the American Woolen Company, Boston, circa 1912. Next, this image are dark smoke belching towers or called witness smoke in the late 19th century, showing the effects of industrial pollution. Next, this image are railways or powerful locomotives. Next, these are the king of the combinations or his name robber barons. At this point, robber barons are from USA. He is commonly considered the results of this revolution. Next, this image are the ancient stateness. States, Yorkshire's fishing village, lock in time. These are the thread from wool from painstakingly made by hand. Its physical effort they do of separating the fibers that were then spun into a single thread keep the textile industry small and isolated. So that's they do in the ancient times. So in the end of all part of this part of industrial revolution, overall of this first, Britain had abundant resources, such as coal and iron, which were essential for industrialization, as the same I said in the early. So, furthermore, Britain had a stable political system and was not facing widespread conflicts or wars, allowing for economic stability and growth. That's the part of Britain, that they had economic stability and growth. Additionally, Britain had also a well-developed transportation system, including canals and later railways, which facilitated the movement of goods and raw materials. Britain had a large and growing population, providing both a labor force and domestic market for manufactured goods. And the last, Britain had a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship with inventors and entrepreneurs like James Watt and Richard Arkwright, contributing to technological advancements. So, these are the Industrial Revolution. Next, let's identify the main inventions which revolutionized the industrial age. So, the most important inventions of the first industrial revolution are the spinning and weaving machines, are the development of machines like the spinning jenny and the power loom made it possible to mass produce textiles, leading to the growth of the textile industry. Second, steam engine are the inventor made by James Watt. These are rotative steam engine, played a crucial role in powering machinery and transportation during the Industrial Revolution. It provided a more efficient and reliable source of power. Third, cotton gin. The third main invention of Industrial Revolution is cotton gin, are invented by Eli Whitney. It could be revolutionized the cotton industry by automating the process of separating cotton fibers from the seeds. This invention increased productivity and led to the expansion of cotton production. And lastly, electric telegraph are invented by Samuel Morse. The electric telegraph revolutionized long-distance communication. It allowed messages to be transmitted quickly over long distances, laying the foundation for modern telecommunication. Next, explain how invention spurred industrialization. So, the invention for the introduction of machinery inventions like the spinning jenny, power loom, and cotton gin revolutionized the textile industry, which was one of the first industries to be industrialized. These machines allowed for mass production of goods, which was faster and more efficient than handmade products. The other machine invention are steam power, or the invention of the steam engine by James Watt was a game changer. It provided a new source of power that was more reliable and powerful than water or wind. This led to the development of factories that could be located anywhere, not just near water sources. The next invention is transportation, such as the steam locomotive and steamship, which made it easier to move goods and people. This led to the growth of trade and the expansion of markets. Then, communication was improved when they invented the telegraph and the telephone, which made communication faster and more efficient. This allowed businesses to coordinate activities over long distances and helped in the expansion of businesses. Next, for the industrialization in Europe, started in the 18th century until the mid-19th century. The industrialization word is the process of transforming the economy of a nation or region from a focus on agriculture to a reliance on manufacturing. They have manufacturing and production from Europe, which boosted industries and new inventions and innovations. As of these centuries many historians suggest the Industrial Revolution began around the 1760s and lasted up to about 1840s. Others theorize a second Industrial Revolution lasting between the 1840s to 1870s or in 1880s. So, you see, there are many different views on the Industrial Revolution from the historians. The Industrial Revolution began in Great Britain and spread to the United States. So, yun nga, nagsimula ang Industrial Revolution sa Great Britain at kumalat ito sa United States. The developments in the two countries did not take place simultaneously, at least not initially. In the early stages of the Industrial Revolution, the United States lagged behind developments in Great Britain. There is a good example of technology spreading from Great Britain to the United States. So, yun nga, may pinakita yung taga Great Britain na machine. Ang tawag sa machine na yun ay textiles. Textile machine operation by Samuel Slater was an Englishman. Siya ang nagmaster ng textile machine at dinala niya ito sa United States. You see that during this time, Great Britain had extremely advanced textile, producing machinery and naturally wanted to maintain a monopoly on this type of technology. Therefore, British laws against importing textile machinery. Then, young Slater came memorize the designs for cotton spinning machines and reproduced them in United States with wild success. So, ayaw mag-share ni Great Britain ng kanyang machine kay US. Pinagdadamot niya ito. Kaya nung dumating si young Slater, nung minemorize niya yung cotton spinning machine para may magamit ang kanilang bansa sa pananahi. For this, he made 4 cotton spinning machines. As I said lately, he is remembered in the US as the father of the American Industrial Revolution. Then the US government never forget what Great Britain trait is as later the traitor. So yun, hindi nakalimutan ng US government na naging mapagbigay si young Slater na gumawa siya ng sarili nilang machine kesa magmakaawa pang hiramin yung machine ng Great Britain. So, yun, tumatak sa kanila yung Great Britain na traidor, na dati nilang kakampi pero kaaway pala nila. The main key points of industrialization in Europe, the birthplace is Britain. This industrial revolution began in Britain. Technological innovations, invention of steam engine by James Watt, spinning jenny by James Hargreaves, power loom Edmund Cartwright, railways and steamships, urbanization's effects on society, economic growth and increased productivity, social problems. Example, child labor, poor working conditions. They spread to the continent, to Europe, Belgium, France, and Germany. Next, industrialization spreads into cradle of the Industrial Revolution for the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Russia, Austria-Hungary, Ottoman Empire, Portugal, Spain. So these are the Industrial Revolution that had begun in Britain, spread both to the United States and to continental Europe. The industrialization spreads from Belgium are the first to use British industrial model. They had iron, coal, and waterways to same with France. Furthermore, United States by Samuel Slater brought factories to the US. As I said lately, these factories were primarily located in northern states but diversified. The South was mostly agricultural with a little industry. Then women joined the workforce. Here in Germany, are politically divided until late 80s. Used railroads to link manufacturing. They are rich in coal and iron ore. Germany becomes industrial leader after unification. France. Industrialized after 1850, their government built large network of railroads. At the end, all the influenced countries are first world and second world. Part are Australia, Hungary, and Spain. Our political and economic problems stopped them from developing. And lastly, Japan in late 80s. The Japan goal was to modernize and counteract Western influence. Their industrialization and modernization was controlled by the government. As you can see in this picture is a print depicting the start of Japan's first rail service from Tokyo's Shinbashi to Yokohama in 1872. Otagawa Hiroshige, 3rd, 1872, courtesy of the Minato City Local History Museum. So this is their museum that their industrialization they adopted from Europe. They have railways too. For the reforming the industrial world, there are the main key reforms that took place. First is labor rights and workers' movements. Second, factory acts and labor laws. Third, social reforms. Fourth, environmental conservation. 5, consumer protection. So, these are the reforming the industrial world became necessary as the negative consequences of industrialization. Adam Smith believed that he wrote the book The Wealth of Nations. Law of interest, people work for their own good. He believed for the law of interest, law of competition, competition forces people to make a better product, law of supply and demand, enough goods will be produced at the lowest price to meet demand of market. So there is a free trade is a good thing. Free market unregulated by government. Ultimately believes in capitalism. Factors of production should be owned by private individuals. This is what brought about the Industrial Revolution. So there is the law of self-interest. That Adam Smith believes that you only show up to school because you have to be present so that you can learn so you can get a good grade. So you can graduate and can get a degree diploma and then pass the board exam and get professional license. So it means the self-interest, you only do things. It is your interest, it benefits you, it is what you want to do. The second law is the law of competition. So, it means the competition forces people to make better product. Ibig sabihin, para maging maayos yung produkto. So, yun yung competition. Meron namang law of supply-demand. Enough goods will be produced at lowest price to meet demand market. Yun nga, para lang makita yung maganda at yung mababang presyo. So, ito yung free trade is a good thing. So, ibig sabihin, ang free trade is wala ng task. Kaya, madali na lang ang lahat. Pero sa napapanahon ngayon ay mataas pa rin ang mga bilihin at mga presyo dahil mataas ang mga inflation. At wala pa rin nabago dahil ngayon ay puro galing pa rin imported products. Socialism. Government should own the factors of production and allocate resources. And capitalists are just greedy pigs. Itong socialism, itong mga gobyerno, sila yung corrupt. At sinasarili lang nila yung pondo na nakukuha nila na galing sa mamamayan. The reforming industrial world, they brought economic growth and technological advancements. There is also lack of education also led to poor working conditions, and the politician tolerant the exploitation of workers and environmental degradation. As I said lately, na hinahayaan lang nila yung mga bata na magtrabaho agad sa maagang edad o minor na edad na nagtatrabaho na agad para kumita, para may bigay sa kanilang pamilya. Next, news reporting about Industrial Revolution, Voice of Industry. Industrial activity are primary, extracting resources; secondary, processing stage; tertiary, services; transportation or communication; producer services, consumer services. The industrial activities leading to soil pollution. Here is the timeline of the development of transportation and communication. So I will put it here. So there are the resources link. There, yan. So yun po yung resources link. Thank you for listening.